right, the gate tonight was 10,752,296. It's the highest gate for an indoor arena in the history of the continent. Attendance was 18,168. Total sellout. Bonuses of the night. Fight of the night went to Kape and Dos Santos. Performance of the night went to Tafa and Strickland. And one thing that I really want to point out, and somebody that I really want to thank, is the Premier, who got us back down here, and it's good to be back in Sydney. Thanks to him for all his hard work and love of the sport. How fucking crazy is this game? How crazy is this game?
It's one of those ones where you just sit here for like the next week going, what the fuck happened there, you know?
23 years. When I'm looking at the internet and reading all the bullshit and all these people that think they know about fighting, and I'm not fucking sitting here acting like this is what I thought was going to happen here tonight. But what do I always say? Never judge a fight until it happens. You never know what the hell is going to happen in this batshit nutty sport.
Would you say this is one of the biggest upsets in the history of the
Yeah, I
sport?
mean, if you think about Australia, the two biggest upsets ever in the men's and women's division has happened in Australia.
What did you think of, we'll start with Israel, right? What did you think of his performance? I think some people are saying he looked very flat early on. He looked like he sort of didn't deal with the pressure Sean was giving him very well. What did you think of Israel?
Israel looked like he was in slow motion. He looked like he couldn't get off. He looked like he was really stiff tonight. He looked very slow.
Do you think that could be, you know, we always talk about his activity, but maybe there's something to be said that he might be overtrained at this point and maybe needs some time off? Or do you think it's just, hey, sometimes you have a bad night?
Only Israel knows what's going on. I'm very curious to see what he says at this press conference tonight. You know, there are a million things that could go wrong. Some days you wake up and it's just not there, man. You just don't, it's not there. He looked bone dry when he came out tonight, standing up really tall, looked very slow, looked like he couldn't get off at all. Even in the fifth round, when everybody knew he needed a knockout to win the fight, there was no sense of urgency to try to finish the fight. So I don't know if he's hurt, if he's, or he just, you know, tonight's that night.
Yeah. Did you speak to him in the cage at all?
What's that?
Did you speak?
Yeah. I said, you okay? He said, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Then go to Sean Strickland. You know, he did what he's had to do, right? He came here, 100%. He beat the champion, 4 rounds to 1.
Came into hostile territory, the whole world talking shit about him, the whole world saying he couldn't do it, a 7-1 underdog, came in, almost finished him in the first round, and won the championship, won the world title, man. So everything that we're talking about right now about how crazy this sport is, when opportunities arise, you jump on them and you take them. And, you know, you should never turn down fights when you get the call, especially if it's for a world title.
Yeah. Sean's an interesting character, right, to have as champion?
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. You know,
I'm sure it's going to get crazy in here in a little while.
Yeah. Just this week we had the thing with the fan, and I know that he was kind of exaggerating as he does, but do you need to say, like, look, if you're going to be our promotions champion, can you cut some of that out? Or do you just think, well, let's just see what happens?
You know the answer to this question. Listen, we put this guy in the spot. And, you know, there was no, holy shit, we didn't know this was going to happen going into this, you know. Who the hell knows what's going to happen in here in 15, 20, 30 minutes whenever he gets in here. So it is what it is. This is the fight business, boys and girls.
Yeah.
And he is one of the nuttiest in the sport.
Yeah. Outside of that, the Manel Kape fight against a newcomer who looks amazing too, into Santos. You know, you gave it fight of the night, but what did you think of that great flyweight matchup?
Yeah, fight of the night, and you know, wow, how durable and tough that kid is. I love kids. Again, a kid that got an opportunity, and he came in. He didn't come here to just show up and get paid. He came here to win tonight. I think that kid has a really bright future.
I know what the answer is usually to this, but Manel's post-fight speech used a homophobic word.
Yeah, I was flying around a little bit tonight. I think these guys get, you know, get a little excited, and you know, you make bad mistakes. Radke did the same thing, you know, and you know me. We didn't run over to him and say, you better apologize and you better. He did that on his own. You know, when he got back stage, he was embarrassed and, you know, got caught up in the moment. And did you guys talk to him tonight? No. So he felt like he was treated like shit and, you know, all that stuff. And, got emotional and whatever reason. We make mistakes. I am not holier than thou either. So we've all been in positions where we've made mistakes, and like I always say, it's how you recover from it and how you carry yourself after you make the mistake. And he came out and apologized on his own free will. We didn't tell him to do anything, and the fact that he did that means he means it. I don't make anybody apologize for anything. You do what you want. You're grown men and women. You're able to say whatever you want. He did it. He came back. He was embarrassed, and he apologized. So I'm sure some people will accept his apology, and some people won't.
Last one for me, just going back to the madness of the main event. Traditionally we see dominant champions get an immediate rematch, right? But Israel just had one of those with the Pereira fights. So do you I know this is a Tuesday question, but do you sort of think, well, let's just book it again because Israel looked so off? Or do you just sort of see how the division plays out and leave Israel on the side for a moment?
No, I think you do the rematch, absolutely. The rematch is interesting. That could be the thing, too. When you think about you're going into the Pereira fight, such a big fight, and you've been in there with this guy so many times, and then you overlook Strickland, and you come in and I don't know. I don't know the answers to these questions, but Israel does, and I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Okay, thank you.
Dan, is there any medical update on Jack Jenkins? He's one that his arm snapped in half in there.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think I don't have any updates here medically, but I think his elbow got dislocated. It just says right elbow here, but it doesn't say. I think it was just a dislocation.
And I'm just curious, how do you come up with a list for bonuses tonight? Because obviously Volkov became the third fighter ever to get a Ezekiel choke. Tyson Pedro had a big performance to kick off this main card. So how do you narrow down just 2-3 names on a?
Yeah, Pedro deserves something too. There's guys that these guys we felt won the 50,000. And other guys that did really well tonight will get kicked some money too.
And so this is just kind of going off. This is just me being curious. Have you ever thought of just doing a stoppage bonus rather than a performance bonus, like a finish bonus for just anyone who gets a finish, rather than selecting 2 or 3?
Nah, this kind of works.
Okay. And last one for me. You guys announced the UFC game. Fedor's in it. Did you have to fly to an island to get his permission?
We did not. No. Yeah, he's in the game.
How'd you pull that one off?
Listen, I don't know. I guess he wants to be in the game. We paid him an obscene amount of money. I don't know, one or the other.
Hey, Dana, just a quick one on Sydney. It was pretty remarkable to see CKB with 6 fights on one card. What's your reaction to sort of what the gym's been able to do in the region and just the card overall?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible what that team has done. And, if you saw some of the footage leading up to the fight, how many people are in that gym training at one time, and they treat Izzy just like they treat everybody else, and Volk, and it's impressive. It's impressive what they built here.
For a rematch like Strickland and Adesanya, if that does happen, do you do this in this region yet again because of the fan base, because of the support, potentially maybe even New Zealand, or is that something that you think happens overseas now?
I don't even know. When you start looking at the rest of the year and laying out the card, and then getting in, we're already into March of next year. So, as far as fights go, so I don't know. I don't know how that'll play out, but it depends on how fast these guys want us to come back here.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dana, you mentioned fights booked up to March. Is UFC 300 going to be in April? Is that what it's looking
April.
like?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, have you started thinking about that one at all?
Not at all.
Because we had Volkanovski back here. He said if him and Islam both win their next fights, he would love to headline. Izzy said earlier in the week he wants to be on that card. People haven't started coming to you yet?
There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen between now and then.
Yeah. Laura Sanko joined the commentary booth for her pay-per-view debut tonight. Did you get to listen to much, and what did you think?
Yeah. The commentary team tonight was awesome. They killed it. Yeah.
Do you think she'll get more opportunities on pay-per-views going forward?
Sure. Yeah, she's a rock star, man. She's very good at what she does.
Yeah, and earlier this week, Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou did a press conference ahead of their fight, and Tyson was saying after this one, he wants to revisit the John Jones fight, potentially, that you guys were working on. Is that something that would appeal to you at all, depending on how that goes?
I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
What do you think of Francis, that he was able to get that fight? We haven't heard you really speak on that.
No, good for him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dana, just over here.
Yep.
The last time the UFC came back to Brisbane was 2016, and I know you have the deal with Sydney for the next couple of years, but does the UFC have any plans to come back to Brisbane at all?
Plans to go back to where?
Brisbane.
Where? Brisbane? Yeah. Yes. Listen, we're gonna go everywhere. Now that hopefully the world is back and heading in the right direction again, hope that stays that way. And yeah, we're going to be traveling everywhere again. Still so many places that we haven't been since COVID, the beginning of COVID, so still a lot of traveling to do.
And just another one, Tom Nolan is just up the road from me, so I thought I'd ask a question of do you have any timeline of when we can see him debut? Tom Nolan, the Dana White's Contender Series.
What about him?
If you have any timeline of when he'll be debuting.
No.
And then just lastly, the eternal featherweight champion Justin Van Heerden made weight on Saturday as a backup. I'm just curious if you happen to know him at all, and if so, what are your thoughts?
Did who make weight? No.
Hey Dana, just over here. I was wondering, did this card surpass your expectations? Because we had a ton of finishes, a ton of great fights, and then obviously, an absolutely amazing title fight in the middleweight division. How did this card match up to your expectations?
No. This card absolutely met my expectations. Obviously, I expected a completely different, main event. Whether Izzy won or Strickland won, I expected. I didn't. Nobody saw that coming. That Izzy would come in flat and slow, and whatever's going on with him. I don't think anybody expected to see that. But no, the card lived up to my expectations.
And speaking on Tuivasa, obviously a tough loss tonight, but I think Ty really falls into that category of fan favourite fighters whose stock never drops too much with a loss. Do you kind of see Ty fitting into that category as well as a fan favourite fighter that we're always going to tune in to see? Yeah,
and to be honest with you, when you talk about exceeding expectations, that fight did. I mean, when you look at the monster he's fighting, the reach advantage, the power that guy has, the size difference, everything, Ty fought a hell of a fight tonight.
And last one from me, Gabriel Miranda had a very, very dominant submission victory over Shane Young tonight. I was just wondering where you sort of see the ceiling for him and what's next for Shane Young.
Listen, when you get these opportunities to come in and take these fights, and it's like when we talk about the Contender Series on Tuesday nights. When you get these opportunities to come in and you shine like you did in the big show, yeah, it's a big deal. It's a very, very good thing.
Hey Dana, there's been a lot of questions this week to the fighters about if they'd be interested in fighting on an Auckland card, and Dan Hooker admitted this week that the rumours were made up by him. Are there any truth to the rumours? Are you potentially coming back to Auckland in the next 6 months?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I was just at a press conference on Tuesday, and they were talking about, oh, we heard you're doing a fight in Minnesota, and all. Nothing is done until we announce it. There's lots of, when we get together on Tuesdays for matchmaking, we kick a lot of ideas around, possible matchups, possible places, but until we announce it, it's never true.
Dana, the other day, Sean Strickland during the open workouts, brought a fan on stage and had a bit of a boxing sparring session with that fan. What goes through your mind when a situation like that happens? And we noticed that fan was sitting with the fighters next to Justin Gaethje tonight, funny enough, so just wondering what your thoughts around that.
I don't know what I think of that. He's definitely different. He's very different, and I don't know. He's a different guy. You got me on that one. I don't even know how to answer that question. Yeah. You guys good? Yes, sir.
Dan Hooker said at Q&A on Friday night that Volkanovski's next fight was planned to be around February next year. Can you confirm that?
Not till we confirm it.
Fair enough.
All
and
right.
Just final question. Do you see Alex Pereira potentially finding his way back into this middleweight title picture if he doesn't succeed at light heavyweight?
I don't think so. I think he'll stay at light heavyweight, it'll be, I don't know. But I don't think so. I don't see him cutting back down again. It's a lot of weight to cut. The guy's a monster.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night, you guys. Thank you.
Radio. Pause. I had a different plan for this, but again, life throws curveballs at you. Thank you. Win or lose, I wasn't gonna say much anyway, but right now, I lost tonight to the better man on the night, and I just want to go be with people who care about me, my team, and they're waiting for me, so I'm gonna do that. But I will leave you in the capable hands of a man who is much smarter than me. I'll admit this on worldwide national media. I'll leave it with Eugene Behrman. He'll handle this for the first time. I want to go chill, have some breakfast, build my family, and yeah, till next time.
Yeah, definitely not protocol, but we want to. This is our team. This is how we do it. He wants to go. He wants to be protected, and it's our job to protect him. So, if this is what he wants, this is what he gets. This is his time right now. He's in a time of need right now. So, if I have to sit up here in front of you guys, then I have to sit up here in front of you guys for him. If you have any questions.
Yeah. Huge. I think most people would agree that was not the Israel Adesanya we're used to seeing in there tonight. He looked slow, he looked off, kind of fatigued early. Can you tell us anything about his performance and maybe why that was the reason? What was the reason?
Look, the universe does things, and I feel I think Sean's a great fighter, and I never once thought that Sean wasn't capable of beating Israel. But I thought if Israel performed to the fullest of his capabilities, it would be a very hard fight for Sean. There was an alternate kind of universe where if Israel performs his poorest or poorly, where Sean could win. And I'm sitting in that universe right now. So he had an off night. Training camp was great. I'm not going to make any excuses in regard to that. Leading up to the fight week was great. Sparring partners, everything, all the technical little things to do with the camp, they were all perfect. So there's no excuses there. He came in, he had an off night. He couldn't see the same things that we were seeing. We couldn't make a good connection in the corner. It was just a frustrating night, yeah. But why was it a frustrating night? Well, it was a frustrating night because of the opponent. Don't take nothing away from the opponent.
Dana has already been in here and said, we'd like to see a rematch. Do you drastically change things ahead of that? Or do you think, well, we think we got it right, Israel just had an off night and hope that that doesn't happen again?
In my career, I've been involved in a few rematch camps, and they're very, very difficult. Why are they so difficult? Why is a rematch camp so difficult? Is you're trying to find other stones to leave unturned, but you already haven't left the stone unturned. So it's almost an impossible task. You're trying to find another level above the level that you've already achieved, but it's not achievable. So it's very, very difficult when you go into these rematch camps. And at this level, I've done a few. The Pereira one just recently. It's very, very difficult to do a rematch camp, but like I said, I don't think we have to change too much, but we will find something because we have the benefit of time. So we will get down to our usual business as a coaching team, and we'll find something to add to this camp, and we'll win the rematch.
Would you like that rematch as soon as possible, or do you think maybe some time off could be beneficial for Israel?
Well, I asked Mick if we could have the rematch next weekend. Whether he grants it, I'm not sure, but I'm just very confident that we can change the outcome of this fight with very minor adjustments. What I'm saying is we couldn't get Israel to enact our plan. There wasn't much cohesion in the corner. You have nights like this, and I think we can do the rematch tomorrow, and I think we can have a good night.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, I'm just curious. In that first round, when Sean landed that blow that did drop Israel, was there any moment that like that was the moment maybe Israel didn't recover, or it just caught him off guard, or did that just set the tone for the rest of the fight?
Look, what Sean did, and again, give massive credit to Sean, okay, but that right hand, I wouldn't say like it was our job to pull him out of Israel's hesitancy. What Sean did was he made Israel very hesitant, and again, that's all credit to him. How did he make Israel hesitant? He bit down and threw every time Israel threw. He countered no matter what. So was there going to be a counter when Israel came in 50% of the time, 65% of the time, 100% of the time? Sean was going to bite down and counter. And when you're faced with that proposition, There's very, very difficult. There's a mental block that's put up, and you have to find a way to get around that mental block. And Israel struggled with that all night, and we struggled with it as well.
Were you surprised at all that Sean didn't try to maybe grapple more in there, and maybe that throw Israel off his game?
Not necessarily. We were prepared for both. We were prepared for Sean to stand, because he's shown that in the past that he doesn't necessarily have to wrestle to win a fight. And we were especially prepared for Sean, if his awkward style was giving Israel difficulty, we were prepared for Sean to stick to that, stay the course, which he did, and we tried to find the adjustments, and we just couldn't tonight.
And final one from you, just about yourself. A lot was made. You had 6 fighters on this card, so I guess at the end of this whole fight, like obviously Shane and Blood and Israel the night didn't go their way, but you had other fighters that were successful too. So just after this fight, how was the whole night for you with all of your fighters so active?
I just got together with my team, and I told them all, I said, look, at the end of the day, we had 6 guys fighting. We had 3 guys lose, but we had 3 guys win. And that's something to be celebrated. And this achievement, getting ourselves to this level, to this point, and those 3 guys winning, that's why Israel's taken off. He's gone to get to the after party, and he's gone to celebrate those 3 guys' wins and our achievement. So that's how we feel.
Just a little bit on those 3 guys. Just want to shine some light on the 3 guys that did win. Give us your thoughts on some of the big moments from tonight and the big victories, and some of your favourite moments from that.
Look, Carlos, his right leg was incapacitated during the week. He could not walk on it. I don't know if any of you noticed him limping, but he did not once think to himself that he's going to pull out of that fight. He went out there, it was hard. He was very hard on his right leg, but he went out there and won, and he showed heart. Tyson showed what he's been working on for all this time at City Kickboxing. Crisp, accurate striking, straight down the middle, good positioning. And Kevin just showed that he belongs at this level. So that's what me and Izzy are celebrating tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hello.
Well, Alex, congratulations on the victory. I don't know if you know, but I think you're one of the 3rd or 4th UFC fighters to ever pull off an Ezekiel choke in there. So what are your emotions after a win like that?
Yeah, first of all, I don't know why I don't have any bonuses tonight. So probably like all the fans in comments I saw, they're saying this, that I have to. It was like my very first submission in the UFC. It was a very good performance with striking, with a really dangerous striker, and all stadion was supporting him. So I don't know why I don't have any bonuses. So it's like question to I don't know who. I'm feeling great with this. So Ezekiel choke works very good. I know during I did this tonight, I remember everything Alexei Olenek teach me in the past when I was really young and trained with him. So yeah, it was awesome.
So that's not a submission you practice regularly?
Not really. I just know how to do this. Yeah, I try to do some submission with Tuivasa first, like some arm triangle, guillotine, but doesn't work. He was a little bit like a slippery, and he was like ready for the submission. I see how Ezekiel choke, it will work with him, and I just did it.
You were in there and you were getting the better of him on the feet too. It looked like after the end of the first round he was very bloody. So I'm curious, how did the fight play out in camp as compared to how it played out in the actual fight?
Yeah, this was exactly how I planned the fight have to go on. I have in my camp a lot of like a similar style guys. Yeah, but I was really surprised with Tuivasa. He's a really tough fighter. He get so much punches from me. I throw some of them really hard, and I'm feeling how hard it was for him. But he keep stayed on his legs and then fought with me, and I feel he was like really dangerous all the way, all the fight. So for me it was like a really good challenge, but it goes really good for me. I work hard and I fight like easy.
The final one for me, what would you like the rest of your year to look like? Would you like to get one more fight in before the end of the year? And if so, do you have names at this point?
Of course, I want to fight. I want to fight as much as possible to get back in title race. So yeah, I'm ready to fight in the end of the year, or maybe like in the beginning of the next year. So I will keep going training. I'm going camp. I'm just enjoying my camps, enjoying practice, enjoying learning new things. So I have a lot of fights, as you know, like almost like 50, but I keep learning new things, and I'm really motivated, and I'm feeling like I have everything to be a champion in the future.
Alex, just want to quickly get your thoughts on Ty's walkout music, Missy Higgins. Can I say that Alex Volkov is a Missy Higgins fan after tonight?
I didn't hear this song before, so for me it was a little bit like weird to hear. It was not really like fight music something, but it was nice. It was cool. So I was like, in the flow of all of what's happening today in all stadium and arena. I was in flow. I feeling how everybody support him, but I enjoy the event. I understand all fans who support him on his homeland. So I was just a really good mood today, and it was really nice.
Is there a shoey in your plans tonight to celebrate? Когда ты пьешь is
no. No, I didn't plan then really, like I will drink some beer, but from the glass, like a regular way, or maybe like with like us, but no from sure. Sorry.
Alex.
Yeah.
It seemed like in the build-up to this fight, you and Ty were very friendly and there wasn't much trash talking as compared to the other fights. Do you feel like that gave you an advantage coming into this fight?
Нет, я понял, концовка. Я понял. Like it was not like my advantage. It is it's really normal. Yeah, I know for fans it's much better and much interesting if fighters like hate each other, but we are both like have a lot of experience in the sport. I was a lot of battles and I meet a lot of different fighters and I understand how it works. It's like all the guys who angry each other after fights they became friends. So it's just maybe for fans, but I understand. I'm trying to be a professional in my sport. I don't put a lot of energy on trash talking on like all these things. I try to keep going like straight and to be like a professional and show a really good fight in octagon, not like outside. But I understand that it's more interesting for fans to make some trash talk. I will know English maybe a little bit better, and I will start to try doing too.
You managed to keep the distance pretty well between Ty and yourself. You were using your reach really well, but Ty was getting you with some really good lower calf kicks. Did they start to affect you towards the middle part of the second round before you took him down?
it has some effect, you know. It's like how to say. It will be not so good like for him if he like it just this damage I have from this fight just from his calf kicks. I mean I expect this like before the fight, but my legs was really ready for this. It's just bruises. You know, I'm originally from Kyokushin karate. We have a lot of these kicks, low kicks and calf kicks like in our sport. So I really used to this. It was not a really big deal for me. So and you know, especially in the real like last his calf kick, I tried to give him the leg because I feeling when he kicks this he hurt his leg himself. So feeling this and I just keep going forward and give him this leg. He tried to make this calf kick. I just catch him on this movement and throw him down. So I just expect this. It was not so bad. But it just bruises, and you also have it in the fight. Like it's okay.
And finally, for me, does someone like Tom Aspinall interest you for your next fight?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, well, I already followed him, but in London maybe we can follow him in another place, and he come to maybe US because he too much fought in his homeland and not so much in different countries. So maybe. We'll do this in another place.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Alex, just over here.
Just
over here.
Yeah.
It felt tonight that out of all the non-Australian or New Zealand fighters, you got not as bad as a reception as some of the other ones. What were your thoughts fighting in front of the Aussie crowd?
Как тебе чувствовалось, когда ты дрался в Австралии? И к тебе как относились? К другими больше относились, к тебе меньше относились? Как?
You know, I feel really good here in Australia. Like all fans was really welcome to me. Like outside the outside of arena. So I met a lot of people during all of these 5 weeks on streets, like everywhere, and they make picture with me. So fans here really amazing. I know, and people from a different society, like level, from different job and different age, they all know about MMA. Like it was it really like surprised me here, and all of them want to make some picture, and it was really nice for me. So I feel great. I understand that this is his homeland, and everybody will support him. So it's okay. But I understand that, like for fans, one of us. It could be good. One else have to be bad. Today I was like a bad fighter, but after fight everybody love me. So it's okay. It's just part of the sport, and I'm feeling good today. It was absolutely like a good feeling.
And Alex, just one from me over here. Was Ty better on the ground than you thought he was going to be? As early on in the jiu-jitsu exchanges, he seemed to have some improved defense on the ground. Was his defensive jiu-jitsu a little bit better than you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that he like was a little bit expected some jiu-jitsu movement and wrestling movements in this fight. So he trained and working on this a lot. So I saw this. It was so I expected that my ground game with him will be a little bit easy for me. But he was really good prepared to this fight in jiu-jitsu game. I tried to do some like. Chokes in the first round and early, like middle of second, but I can do this. He was a little bit slippery, big, really strong enough to defend. Yeah, and it was good. So it was good because it make some show for fans and make a fight a little bit longer. So yeah, I like it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Manel, congratulations on the win, the bonus, and a great fight.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling about your performance and your opponent?
I feel good. I think I did a good performance. I did what I have to do. About my opponent, I knew he was a tough kid, like I said before. He's a tough kid. He's a debut. He don't have nothing to lose. He come. He surprised me with his range. I have long arms. So I have to make a couple exchanges during the fight. But all good. We win, and this is all that matter.
Was he tougher than you thought, or was it about what you expected?
No, I always expect the fighters to be tough because this is what we do. They train to be tough, to be good, like he was good. So nothing surprised to me, you know. The kid was really tough. I dropped him many times. He didn't break. So congratulations to him too.
After the fight, you made it clear that you would like to fight Kai Kara-France. You also used a word about his teammates that perhaps was a little bit regretful.
Pardon?
You used a homophobic slur in your post-fight interview. Dana White said you were sorry for this. I wanted to confirm that you are apologetic.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. He's emotional, you know. During the fight, during the interview, we are all emotions. We say things that we don't want to say, but for who feel bad about that, I apologize.
Why is the fight with Kai Kara-France something you want so bad, and what is it about him that you seem to dislike so much?
That moment was the fight what I want. I really training hard for fight Kai Kara-France, and that's the fight that put me in a good spot in the division, and that a win in this night was supposed to be to fight next for the title. And like I say, I just believe they are a little bit hypocrisy because their team say that they have to go into injuries, you know, they have to fight. There was talk about Drico, about Israel Adesanya. He didn't fight because of injuries. And what happened to Kai Kara? We didn't know really what happened, you know. So this is my question to him, you know.
How do you think that fight goes?
It's going very well, you know. We see he was not 100% sure to fight me because I have an injury, a lot of injury in this fight camp. Even 1 week ago in my cut weight, I have a big injury. I didn't pull out of the fight. Just for you guys know, I have a big injury. I didn't pull up. I just stopped 3 days to relax, and I keep going.
Is the injury something you'll have to have surgery on, or is it just recovery?
I have to check because I have to do a race sheath if something broke. I'm not gonna say what is the part, but I just gonna tell you I have a big injury, and like you guys see, normal I move a lot in fights. I didn't move a lot. I was more concerned about my injury and not to get exposed. So, but I go into injury. This is the mentality of the champion, you know. I'm not gonna waste the time of anyone, and I'm not gonna waste my time.
Staying with Kai, he fought for the interim title not too long ago, and he headlined his last card. Do you think, given the heat between you and Kai, that you could make this a main event of a fight night, and you two would fight for 5 rounds instead of 3?
Definitely not a fight night. Definitely a pay-per-view.
Sure. And then last one for me on this fight specifically. Is this the type of fight that you enjoy? Like Felipe seemed, I know you were injured, but he was in there. He was throwing a lot of exciting, dynamic strikes. He was throwing spinning back elbows. He was going for submissions and everything. Is this the type of fight that you enjoy in there?
I been have a easy fight in UFC, you know. All my fight was like easily. I didn't feel like I'm going to. I was in war. I didn't feel hurt. I didn't feel anything, you know. When I say that the ranking is just a number, it's just a number. This kid just proved that he was more tough than anyone I fight here in UFC, you know. and I feel more in trouble with this kid than any other fighters that I fight, you know. So I love the kind of fight. I like to feel that I'm hurt, I'm going home, I'm going to take care of myself, you know. So I really enjoy.
Actually, one more for me. You and Israel obviously had that exchange on stage at the press conference. I'm curious, did you watch his fight against Sean Strickland, and what did you think of it?
You know, karma is a bitch, you know, because he told last time in last press conference to Strickland, if he pay attention on Alex Pereira, you know. I told him, hey, pay attention on your guy, you know. Your business is against Strickland. And he was so focused on me than focused on Strickland. Look what happened. Like I say, karma is a bitch. Congratulations to Strickland. We go home with 2 victories. Thank you, guys.
Oh, we meet again, you guys. Oh, bet you guys weren't picturing this, were ya? Fuck you guys. Well, actually, I don't know if I was picturing this either. All right.
It's the UFC's worst nightmare.
Oh, man, Hunter and Dana were like, fuck this.
Sean, first of all, congratulations on being the world champion. Did that fight play out how you thought it was going to? Was the game plan just put him on the back foot, pressure him?
I thought I was going to be leaving with a concussion, but I feel relatively fine other than a few, bumps and bruises. Yeah, no, the game plan was a wrestle, you guys. We wrestled all camp, but, when you're a little autistic, you just kind of do what you do.
Lots of people are saying that Israel himself looked kind of off tonight. Do you think he was off, or do you think you made him look off by your style?
I think I'm one of the best strikers in the world. Anytime you're doing the man dance, you're one punch away from being knocked out. But I could spar with any world champion boxer and get the better of him. So I don't know, man. I just think I'm one of the best strikers in the world.
You nearly had him out of there.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this. I watched him fight Kelvin, and he was like, "Oh, you don't have a chin like Kelvin. You might have his cardio," but I'm like, "Chin like Kelvin, motherfucker!" Like. Last time I sparred Kelvin, the coach jumped in and made a stop. Like you have no fucking idea. Like I've seen the guys you beat, and you should see me spar the guys you've beat, motherfucker. Like, no idea. So it was just kind of like, I just think sometimes I run my mouth so much that people forget that I know how to fight.
Is that something you're going to change?
No, fuck you guys. No, I fucking got dick ring over there, man. Like, never stopping, man. Never stopping.
Did you think the referee was going to stop it when you were teeing off on him?
No, whenever he came to, there was a moment where I thought he was going to, but once he stood up and he came to, he wasn't ready. Here's the thing, guys. I don't hit that fucking hard. We all know that. I don't hit that hard. So if I'm going to knock somebody out, they gotta be ready.
Dana says that they'd like to do the rematch. Is that something you're open to?
Here's the thing, you guys. Well, I haven't learned anything about the UFC. Since when do you have a fucking choice of who you fight? The UFC never comes up to you and says, "Hey, Sean, would you like to fight this guy? Would you like to fight this guy?" The UFC says, "Hey, you're fighting this guy, fight this guy." So at the end of the day, I'm the champion, so fucking line him up, I'll knock him down or get knocked down.
Yeah. How do you rate your own performance, right? Do you think, because look, the game plan was to wrestle, you didn't. You had that in the back pocket that you could have gone to if you wanted to. So that means if in the rematch, do you think you just do the same thing again? Or is it you're going to prove that actually I can beat Israel in any way?
I would like to wrestle one fight just so people know I can wrestle. Because I keep telling these fucking guys I can wrestle, but I never do it. So maybe one fight I'll wrestle just so people are like, "Oh yeah, Sean can wrestle. He does know what a takedown is." So maybe one day.
How does it feel to be the world champion? You said yourself in the cage that you hadn't having doubts when you were on your way out there, and I'm sure there are probably times in your career you never thought this was going to happen, right? So
yeah,
to be sitting up there with that belt, tell me about it.
I'm pretty much over it now, guys. It was exciting for like a minute, but now it's just on to the end of the day, guys. Here's the thing, guys. Say me and Izzy fight again, and say the Chinaman clips me. And then Izzy's sitting here and he's saying, "How does it feel to be a world champion?" As his acrylic fucking nail. So like, a lot of this is bullshit. I like to fucking fight. I like the fans. I love my job, but a lot of this is fucking bullshit.
So you're not going to be wearing that out to the club or anything?
No. I'm going to go probably get some room service and wait to get the fuck home.
Congratulations.
No, hey, by the way, bro, we've been riding this. What is your name? I don't fucking know your name.
Oscar.
Oscar's been with me since fucking day one, bro, at the fucking Apex. Always interviewing me. Let's go, Oscar.
Thanks, buddy. Congrats.
Thank you for the lovely Twitter.
Dick ring guy.
Yeah. My Twitter mentions are just lovely right now after that media day.
Oh man, well fucking hey man, I didn't shove the needle through your dick.
Kind of going off the Apex thing, could you ever go back to fighting in front of no one now after what we experienced out here with all these fans?
You guys, I just like to fight, man. You guys understand? I don't fight because it allows me to train. So all this does is finance my hobby. So this is the only reason why I fight is because I have a hobby of training, and this allows me to do it.
And you've obviously been one of, if not the most active middleweights over the last several years, but as champion, you might have to kind of pull back from the amount of fights you have in a short amount of time.
Well, I'm going to be making more money now, you guys. I'm fucking my Hyundai accent. I'm going to put some spinners on that motherfucker. I'm gonna have a $16,000 Hyundai Accent with like a $20,000 spinning rims. I'm gonna lift that mother. That's gonna be great. Fucking great.
Well, kind of going off of that, what in your life is going to change now, as like in your regular life?
Fucking nothing, man. You know, I don't even have a fucking GED, you guys. Come on, man. Like, I could barely fucking write. You know, you'd give me a pen and paper, tell me to write some shit, and I can't even fucking. Come on. I'm not an asshole, man. Like, here's what they do. They put a camera in our faces, and they make us feel like a pretty little whore, and they make us feel special. But like, I'm a fucking fighter, bro. I take my money off, and I try to fucking kill a man for 25 minutes. Like, come on.
And final one for me, Israel came over and was saying some stuff to you right after they wrapped the belt around you. Do you remember what he told you?
Oh, it was fucking strange, you guys. It was fucking strange. He was like, I think he was mad that I made from his dog. I'm not even joking. Is that what it was? He was mad that I made from his dog. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like, are we having this conversation? Like, yeah, truly was mad. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Izzy, I'm sorry I made fun of your dog. I'm sure he's a great fella.
I think it was his dog that's passed away that's tattooed on his neck.
Oh, is that what it is?
He said in an interview he was going to go John Wick on you.
Oh, man, I have killed a dog once. Crazy story, right? Yeah.
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 Do you want to clarify anything about that? Because I think some people are a little bit...
No, yeah. Like, I have a weird past, you guys. Weird past. Think about it.
It seemed like in the first round, you checked a kick that seemed to really get to him. I think you did a good job having a good poker face, but did you notice that at all? It seemed like you checked a kick really well, and that seemed to bother him for maybe the rest of the fight.
I wasn't even thinking about it. We're just going in there fucking fighting, doing the thing, man. Yeah. You know, like, here's the thing. For 25 minutes, you just got to tell yourself, I'm ready to die in this motherfucker. You know, I'm ready to die in this motherfucker. And, like, if you start looking at a guy's face when he's hurt, when he's not hurt, like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah. Was the defending the leg kicks, though, a big part of the strategy, something that you knew you would have to do a lot in there because he was kicking a lot?
You know, I'm going to clarify that statement because I'm going to get my Instagram flooded. I was hiking once. I had a bunch of dogs off a leash with all my little fucking rascals running around. And there was like these fucking stray dogs, dude, like vicious fucking pit bulls. And they came run at my dog. I had a gun, fucking boom, plugged one. So, you know, to clarify, it was self-defense. But anyways, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's a fucking dog, Izzy. Calm the fuck down, dude. Oh, fuck. No, Izzy, I'm sorry. I'm sure your dog's a great fellow. This is how it starts, you guys. You fucking do this to me, Canada. Calm the fuck down. Yeah, you didn't even fucking dress up, dude. Cockbroom's wearing a fucking suit, and you're fucking looking like you just woke up.
This is the similar shirt that we did in the interview the other day. I thought it was good luck for you.
Yeah, guys. I'm tired, man. I'm fucking tired, guys. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired. A lot of energy today.
Yeah. What do you think Israel will say going into the next fight? Because he came in here, but he didn't talk anything about it. He just said, my coach is going to do my post-fight interview for me, and he left, and Eugene answered all the questions.
I don't fucking know. Like, you win some, you lose some, just man the fuck up. You know, you win some, you lose some, man the fuck up. Like, you know, there's a chance I fight somebody else, and I'm fucking in the back room, bloody, fucked up. It's fucking fighting, you guys. Like, any given fucking Sunday, man, we're throwing 4-ounce gloves really fucking hard.
Would you, just over here. Just one more. If it is someone else and for some reason the timing doesn't work out for Izzy or something like that, do you think it should be Jared or Drickus?
I don't care, man. Don't give a fuck. Whoever the UFC wants.
Congrats, man.
Sean, just over here.
Hey, no more dog questions, you guys. Fuck, it's getting awkward in here.
I mentioned to you on the at the press conference on Thursday about the whole UFC card number being 93 and 193 Holly Holm shocking the world, and here we are sitting with you at UFC 293 after you shocking the world. I just want to get your thoughts and sort of what goes through your mind knowing that you proved a lot of people wrong tonight.
Oh, fuck, I think I might prove myself wrong, you know? Fuck, man, you watch Izzy go and fuck everybody up, and you walk through them pretty easily. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's just a weird day, guys. Weird fucking day. Weird day. Here we are.
Just one more is, you spoke a lot about the Australian fans this week, sort of cheering you on. How much of an impact did that have for you during the fight itself?
Oh, yeah, man, walking out, all the fucking love, even the 4th round, 5th round cheering. But at the end of the day, man, Izzy made it easy. Like, he fucking walked out with Chinese shorts on. Like, how the fuck, I know he's not Australian, but, like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, I mean, I'm asking you guys, like, why did he have Chinese shorts on? I'm asking you guys. Like, at the end of the day, man, this is the problem with this fucking world. All Izzy had to do is said, hey, you guys, Australia, New Zealand. I'm sure Izzy spent a lot of time in Australia. Where does Izzy live? Does he live in New Zealand or Australia? All Izzy had to do, Guys, I am an immigrant to New Zealand. I'm an immigrant to this part of the world. And you guys welcomed me as one of your own. And you guys gave me a great life. And I want to thank everybody for that and give me this opportunity. But he fucking didn't. He fucking didn't. He said, I am fucking Chinese. Like, I don't fucking know, guys. I mean, what does one say to this? What does one say to this? I mean, you guys are Australian. What the fuck? Or New Zealand.
Hey, Sean. You got very animated there in the last minute of the fight. What were you saying to Izzy in the ring?
I think I just called him the Chinaman. I said, come on, Chinaman, let's fight. You know, but that's what he is, right? The Chinaman. And here's the thing, guys. Izzy's a fucking legend, and I don't like to make fun of him because he is a fucking legend. But, I mean, he fucking came out with, like, the Chinese colors, dude. The fucking Chinese colors, man. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
And
I
Sean,
mean, no, I'm asking you guys. Like, I'm asking you guys, what is the logic coming out, like, to fucking the CCP Communist fucking party, bro? Like, does he want to go, like, is he like, motherfucker, dude? Even now talking about it, I can't even wrap my head around that fucking spineless shit.
Sean, just also wanted to get your thoughts on sharing the moment with Eric and the team. You was talking about how much work went into this camp, obviously, and Extreme Couture. Just want to shine some light on what that meant for you to share that moment just before with them.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Eric is a fucking leader, man. You know, he always motivates me between rounds. He's always fucking pushing me in the gym. He's always fucking, I'm always working my fucking ass off. He's always giving me the hardest rounds. Like, I have a great team. I have a fucking great team, and I would not be here without my team. Even Alex Zarate, man, I've been with him since I was fucking 14 years old, you know? So, yeah, I just have a fucking solid fucking team. Everybody at Extreme's amazing.
And Sean, just one over here. You said that one of the first times you were truly happy in your life was when you won your first fight. Does this moment now, winning the belt, rank as one of the happiest in your life?
I mean, it was pretty good. I'm kind of over it now. I mean, at the end of the day, like, what do we do, you know? The past is the past. Move the fuck on. Right? What now? I'm going to go back to training. Everyone's going to congratulate me. I'll say, thank you, guys, and then we just move the fuck on. I mean, this shit doesn't make me happy. Sure. I actually don't know what does make me happy at times.
Sean, just down here, I know just...
I did like watching the blood splatter from his face, so that was kind of nice. That kind of made me a little happy.
You say just then, you know, you move on and the next day may not be that different, but there was no hiding it throughout the hype up for this fight. Clips of you talking about kind of what growing up for you was like, and your life was kind of put a little bit on show. To go from everything you've been through to now holding that belt that says you're the baddest man at middleweight on the planet, what do you think about that?
Yeah, thank God for child abuse, right? Fuck yeah. Let's go childhood traumas and repressed memories. You fucking, you got me to where I needed to be, man. Like, fucking dad, you're fucking awesome, man. All of the years of abuse, you really made me the man I had to be today. I don't fucking know, you guys. I'm just happy that this fucking world has a place for us, you know. If it wasn't for this, man, I'm sure I would have fucking committed some random act of violence and fucking been locked up for killing somebody. So, fucking huzzah the UFC, man. Thank you for fucking saving someone's life, including my own.
I was just going to follow up, Sean. Is that kind of what the belt represents? Maybe you don't care about it, but that's, you know, if you're looking at that statement, that seems to be something pretty deep.
Yeah, man. It's just kind of weird, dude. Like, here... Like, whenever you talk to normal people, and I know we're not all normal, but whenever you talk to normal people who have, like, a conscience, you know, it's like, you guys are fucking strange, man. I can't even relate to most people. So, like, it's amazing that you just, every day I get to go in the gym and try to murder my friends, and all the demons just vanish away for a day. So, I love this fucking sport. Tuesday, you guys, Extreme, get ready. I'm going to fucking be my Dr. Phil again.
You said earlier, as well as earlier before the fight, you talked about you talk a lot and people forget that you can fight. And you mentioned feeling maybe a little bit underestimated. Do you think Israel underestimated you tonight?
Yeah, fuck. I mean, apparently so, man. Goddamn, dude. I feel like the guy didn't even fucking try. There's moments where he's throwing punches where I'm like, am I fighting an amateur right now? What the fuck is going on? But, yeah, you know, I think I run my mouth a lot and people forget I could fight. But here we are, you guys. You're going to have to talk to me for a little bit longer. Sorry about that.
Hey, Sean. Back, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're a clean-cut looking motherfucker, man. Let's go.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I do. I just like that you take your job serious, man.
Thank you.
You take your job way more serious than I take my job. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. And congratulations on the win, by the
thanks,
way.
man.
Your name is going to go down.
You shouldn't be drinking Coke, though. That's bad for you, man. What are you talking about, bro? You guys are Australia. Everybody's skinny here, dude.
Your name will go down in the sports history after you pulled off one of the greatest upsets.
Yeah, right. How did this asshole ever get a belt? Who the fuck let this happen, man? Hunter and Dana are probably like, this motherfucker. How the fuck did we let this fucking retard get a belt? We fucked up. Why did we agree to this? So many other options, and we let Sean Strickland fight Izzy. No, hey, sorry, guys, man.
So your name will go down along some of the greatest upsets ever. Just how does that make you feel, long after your career is done, that your name will always be brought up when people talk about the greatest upsets in UFC history?
Oh, man, I don't know, dude. I don't really give a fuck about this sport. Like, dang. Do I get to keep this? Do I get to keep a belt? They give me a belt? What do these motherfuckers sell for these days? How does that work? Does anybody know? I'm going to lift my Hyundai.
What was there a certain point in the fight, maybe towards the fourth or the fifth round, where it hit you that you've won the fight and the only way you could lose from there was being knocked out? Or was it at the end there, that final 20 seconds when you started screaming at him?
Fucking dog here. I'm sure Izzy wasn't here. Fuck, he's gonna come. He's gonna fucking shoot me now. Sean insulted my dog, my best friend. Like, what the fuck, dude? Stay on point. I'm sorry, bro. I literally, guys, I have some brain damage. Yeah, come teach me how to fucking speak. Yeah, no, man, guys, it was good, man. It was good. He's a good guy. Good fight. I gave 110%. Gave 110%. Went hard in the first, second round. I felt good. Like, the fuck do you guys want from me, man?
Just finally, we searched it up over here. A UFC replica belt goes for about $1,700. So.
Oh, that's it? Oh,
Yeah.
well, fuck that, dude. I'm going to keep that motherfucker.
Well, congratulations on the win anyway.
$1,700? Well, fucking A, man. If that doesn't make you feel like a cheap whore, nothing will. Thank you, guys. Have a good one, guys. It's been great.
Well, Kevin, congratulations on the successful UFC debut. I guess what are the emotions now that you have your first win out of the way?
Yeah, I'm happy, I'm happy I got the job done quite fast. Made it look easy, no injuries, nothing. So ready to go again before the end of the year, which was a goal too. So yeah, very happy about that.
Kiefer came out pretty aggressive. It looked like he was trying to land a lot of those hooks early on. Was that what you were expecting from him early in the fight?
Yeah, I thought he was going to be even more aggressive than that, to be fair. He was a bit aggressive, but I think after I jabbed his face a couple of times, that kind of slowed him down, and he realized that being aggressive wouldn't be the best choice for him. But yeah, I knew he was going to be aggressive. I wanted to break him down slightly and finish him in the second round. I broke him down in 4 minutes and finished him in less than a minute left. So yeah, it was good.
You said you're completely healthy. We see a couple nicks on your face. Did he land anything in there that might have gotten through?
No, I don't think so. I'll have to watch the fight again. But he probably landed a couple, but none that I can remember, to be honest. Yeah, like every fight you're gonna get punched in the face a couple of times anyway, even if you win comfortably. But nah, I'm all good.
And of course, you called out Ian Gary after the fight. What specifically about that matchup do you like?
I think he's a good fighter. I think he wanna go all the way to the top, and so do I. I'm sure he thinks he's one of the best guys in the world, and so do I. And surely we have the same goals of being world champion eventually. And being in the UFC for me means I'm here to fight the best guys in the world. I'm not here to fight bombs or fight guys that nobody knows about. I'm here to fight the best guys in the world and make money. So yeah, if I can do both at the same time, perfect.
Well, he's obviously very young in his career. You're just starting in the UFC. Is that a fight you would want early, or would you want that later down the road where you guys are both contenders and maybe it's a bigger fight in like a couple of years?
Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm ready to fight anyone now. Like, to be honest, I train with the best guys in the world on a daily basis, I can fight him end of the year, I can fight him later on, it doesn't matter. It just gives me more time to improve anyway. So I guess for him, the earlier is the better. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
And last one for me on Ian. He's very polarizing. A lot of fans like him. A lot of fans think he's kind of annoying. So I'm curious, what do you think of him as a fighter and a person?
I agree. I think he's annoying.
And just quickly, Kev, I mean, you've thought about your UFC debut for a really long time. What's it mean to you to be able to come out and set a statement like that and get a win like that, and also get the team off to a good start for tonight?
Yeah, it feels good, but I'm not surprised. I knew I was gonna win quite comfortably. It feels good to have the first win for the team, and the mindset is good for the rest of the day, But yeah, that's it. Like, it just feels good. It feels right.
Kevin, just here. You seem very patient and composed in there with Kiefer. How are you able to stay so calm and composed in such a big moment?
I think that was a tricky thing in this fight. I knew he was gonna come quite aggressively and take a lot of risks, in a sense. So I knew in the first round I had to kind of take it easy and keep my distance right and make sure I don't take some stupid shots and too much damage, So yeah, I've done that quite well, I believe. But yeah, I was expecting him coming fast like that and like rushing a bit. And but yeah, I can deal with those things quite well, So yeah, he felt all right.
Just one more from me. If that fight with Ian Gary doesn't happen next, in your third pro fight, you fought Jack Della Maddalena, who's obviously now ranked number 14th in the welterweight division. Is that a fight that you would like to run back now in the UFC?
Sign me in right now.
Kevin, just one from me here. Obviously, the call out of Ian Gary, that would be a very big fight for you. Where exactly in his game do you think you could take advantage if that fight were to take place?
Man, everywhere. Like, I think he's very good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter or anything. I think he's very good. And I train with long, very good striker every day. And he's a long, very good striker. And I'm also one of the best strikers, one of the best grapplers. And not many people know about it just yet because I didn't really get the chance to show none of my grappling, even if I did tonight for a little bit. But I can outstrike him. and I can outgrapple him. So we'll see. But yeah, I know I could beat him. Plus, my coaches are the best in the world for making game plans, you know. And I'm sure we will have the perfect game plan to beat this guy.
And last one for me, Kevin. You know, obviously your teammate Carlos Ulberg is fighting later on tonight. I just was wondering if you could get a prediction from you on how you think that fight is going to play out.
Yeah, I think Carlos gonna get it done. Carlos is my guy. I believe in him. I'm sure he's gonna finish the dude. I'm not too sure how long it's gonna take, but I think he can get it done in the first round again. Hopefully with a check hook once again. But let's see what happens. As long as he gets the win, I'm happy.
Kevin, one more in the front right here. Conor McGregor actually tweeted about this fight, saying congrats to Kiefer, 2 weeks notice, flying all the way to Australia. And he essentially said, in his words, is we'd crack your man with a full camp about you. So I'm curious if you have any response to that.
When was the last time he cracked anything? Like, nah, not gonna happen. But yeah, maybe I'll fight him too eventually. Let's see. But usually he likes to fight all guys, so probably not. But let's see.
Kia ora, Kevin. Ian Machado Gary has said he's wanted to come down to City Kickboxing and train with Izzy and the team. What do you think the likelihood of him wanting to come now after you've called him out?
I don't think that's gonna happen. Let's see. I'll fight him first, and then he can come. Why not? But he won't be coming beforehand, that's for sure.
And you got the freshest Eugene Behrman tonight, I think. How do you think he's going to be come 6 fights later, cornering Izzy?
Yeah, obviously we have 6 guys on the card, but Huge, you guys see him on the UFC events, but Eugene is cornering guys every single weekend. Amateurs, professionals, boxing, kickboxing, MMA. Sometimes on the card we have 10 plus guys, so that's nothing new for him. And he's one of the best coaches in the world for a reason. And 6 fighters in one card is okay for him. Nothing too hard, he'll be all right.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's it. Thanks, guys.
It's close.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
What's wrong now?
Try to do it in English. Okay. So if you guys can talk slowly, that helps.
Good. Congratulations. You got the 9th fastest submission in your division's history. How does that feel?
Oh, really? The fastest?
9th fastest.
Very good. I feel so good because I train a lot for this moment. I make a long way for this moment, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, and obviously the UFC debut didn't go as you wanted. How much more comfortable did you feel in there tonight?
Yes, today I'm fighting my regional division. I have a full camp, so I'm feel 100% for this time, for this fight.
Yes, and when would you like to fight again next after this?
Quando você quer lutar novamente?
I'm ready to fight again tonight, tomorrow, next week, next month. But I fought 2 times in another country against a native guys. In Paris against the French guy, here with native guy. So I deserve fight in my country in São Paulo against a gringo. So give me the gringo in São Paulo.
Anyone in particular? Any name you want to fight?
No, anywhere, anytime, anyone. I'm ready to fight. Let's go.
Shane Young missed weight by a few pounds. I'm curious, what were your thoughts when you saw his weight?
I traveled 28 hours in the airplane. So a long for me. And man, 2 pounds, no problem. Let's go and fight, no problem.
How did you enjoy Australia?
Australia is amazing. The people, the fans here is very nice. The guy sent the message in my Instagram and hotel. The guys, the Australian guys is very nice.
Gabriel, just over here. This is your first fight for 2023. Are you looking to be more active going forward?
Yes, because the last fight I have an injury. I had a surgery, but right now I 100% and I'm ready to fight again and more fights.
Just one more from me. This is your second fight in the UFC. What's your plan moving forward to get into the top 15?
Yes, right now I am in my original division. And I will prove who I am, and I show the public fans, the UFC, the world, who is Gabriel Fly Miranda. And I am here to be the champion. I'm here to be the best fight on the world. And remember my name, Gabriel Fly Miranda, the mustache guy.
And Gabriel, just over here, when you first took the back and you sort of started to sink in the choke, it didn't look like the submission was completely in until he started to try to turn out of it a little bit. Could you feel the submission on as he was going completely to the ground, or did it only just come on right before the tap?
Sorry, long.
Ele falou que quando você começou ali na pegar a finalização, parecia que você não estava com a posição ajustada. Quando ele virou, que pareceu que você conseguiu pegar ali o pescoço dele. Você sentiu isso? Como você foi vendo ali a posição?
When I lock the triangle, I feel his body escape a little bit, but I move my hip and pass my arm. When I pass my arm, I feel my arm under his neck. I'm ready. I done. Let's go.
And last one from me, you won the featherweight division that you're going to be a problem for them moving forward. Do you see any of those top tier, top 10 fighters that you could take out already?
E você falou que você vai ser um problema para a divisão, né? E olhando para o top 10, você vê algum atleta que você já considera que você pode ser um problema?
Yes, I have a same problem with the guy in another event. In another promotion, I will fight. By title fight, but he come to UFC first. Then I hear. But I'm here right now, and one day this fight will happen. Ilia Topuria. I will fight. Era para eu lutar com ele no Brave. Eu não lutei e agora estamos no caminho, estamos na rota de colisão.
I was supposed to fight him on Brave, but now we're back in the same promotion. Now we're on the way.
Thank you, guys. See you. Sorry, my English, I'm learning.
Pretty good. Well, Nazareth, congratulations on the victory. We see you, the ice bag on your leg. You came in with a crutch. So physically, how are you feeling after that?
Actually, except my calf, I'm feeling good. First one was a good one, and he kicked my nerve on my calf. It threw me a little bit off. It was some adversity in the fight, but I adjusted with great coaches, with a great corner. They got me through the fight.
Landon's obviously was making his UFC debut. Is that the type of fight you expected from him in there?
Honestly, sometimes you get the guy on, let's say, short notice, newcomer. They are so excited. And the UFC signed him, so he must be UFC level. Sean Shelby doesn't make stupid decisions. He knows what he's doing. And when he offered this guy a contract, that means he's ready. He was pumped, and sometimes a fight is always 50-50. You go in, it's 0-0. It doesn't matter your experience. When you have a guy like him, like a dog, it can be an exciting fight like we had today.
In the first round, he came out pretty aggressive, and he was tagging you a lot with those leg kicks and a lot of his punches. When you're in there fighting him, considering you knew this was his first fight, are you thinking I know he can't keep this up. If I withstand this, he's going to fade?
I knew with guys like this, he was so nervous backstage, so nervous, so excited. And guys like this, they can be dangerous. They come out, throw everything what they have, you know. And man, I'm a human. I can get knocked out, clipped. Nobody's untouchable, you know. And you need to be aware of this. And I think I did it. I adjusted. I stayed patient. I picked him step by step. And like you saw, like his cardio went down, my pace went up. Yeah.
Did you think you would be able to put him away in the final round?
Honestly, 100%. I think I can knock out everybody in this division. But when he hurt my calf, it took my base, you know. Like you're fighting on one leg. I didn't have footwork anymore. It was big adversity. I never had this in a fight. You saw many great fighters, they lose just because somebody kicked the calf kicks. You saw McGregor against Poirier. He smashed his calf. Like he just went down. Today I experienced myself, and man, those calf kicks hurt. But I just let the dog outside of me because this is what I liked. I like the violence fights. Like you saw, beginning of my career, I think I did it today. I'm back.
And this was your first fight in a little more than a year. It was your first fight of 2023. So what do you want the rest of your year to look like? Are you hoping to fight one more time, or can you physically even think about fighting right now?
Last year, I had 5 surgeries within 10 months because I had many injuries I took through all my career in the UFC. Like, I was stupid. I fought with injuries, with broken hands. Last year, I took care of my injuries, you know. And I became much smarter than before. I took my time to get healthy. Last couple of months, I trained hard. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take fight by fight, see what my management, my coaches, what the UFC offers us, and be a little bit smart. I just turned 28. This is my 11th UFC fight. So I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes as before.
The final one for me, I do have to ask about the earthquake in Morocco. So when did you hear about that news, and how much did it affect you here tonight?
Man, yesterday night, like today in the morning, I heard the news. It's very heartbreaking because Morocco is now my new second home. They really welcome me with open arms. It's a beautiful country with beautiful people. Afghanistan, my origins in Morocco, we are brothers. We are very similar in culture and everything. When I heard this, more than 1,000 people, like my last update, died. A city, Marrakesh, with so much history, many old buildings got destroyed, and this is damage you cannot, it's something very heartbreaking, you know, and I'm going to go back to Morocco as soon as possible and try to do whatever I have in my power to help the people there.
Did you have to kind of put your phone down and put that news aside for a while to focus on your fight? And was that difficult to focus on this fight knowing what was happening back home?
Yes, for sure, because my wife, actually, this time I took my family with me during fight week. My wife sent me updates, now it's 500 people died. I said, please don't text me anymore, updates like this, or don't tell me anymore, because it's just very heartbreaking, you know. And when you hear it, people are dying, because it really can take your focus away, you know. So I put my phone down. I told my brother, don't give him my phone. My brother was in charge of everything, and yeah.
Nasrat, with your first fight in nearly a year, have the fans in Australia made it a glorious return to the cage for you? Have they been welcoming for you?
Yes, for sure. We have a big Afghan community here. I loved every second of it. Originally, I was supposed to fight last week in Paris, and so much happened. My opponent pulled out, so much stress. And then they offered me a new guy at the end of the world. We traveled the whole world. We came to Australia. It was a crazy but good experience. We made the best out of it. And it was amazing because we have so many Afghan fans in the arena. I really felt the support also from the Australian fans. It was a great experience. Thank you, guys.
For sure. And Bobby Green is scheduled to face Grant Dawson in October. Would that be a fight that you'd be interested in running back, depending on how that one plays out?
Yes, for sure. Because when I fought Bobby Green, there are no excuses. First of all, I don't like to make excuses, talk about injuries. It's my responsibility to go into the cage 100%. But the reality is I was handicapped, you know. My foot was broken, my hand was damaged. Against a guy like Bobby Green, you need to be more than 100% with a good game plan, be focused. I went 15 minutes with the guy who finished legends like Tony Ferguson. And of course, I want to run it back, but it's unlikely in the UFC to have rematches. Maybe in the future, let's see who wins. Maybe Grant Dawson, he wins. Of course, I'm aiming for the top 15. Step by step, I'm going to take my shots and attack the top of the division.
Nasrat, just here. You've become quite a veteran in the sport, and Landon obviously making his UFC debut tonight. What did you make of his performance, and how do you view his future in the sport?
He's a great kid. He's a good fighter. He was so excited. He was so nervous. I think he's going to improve fight by fight. today he had a good, like he really let the dog out. You know, in the UFC sometimes you just need to be, let's say, sorry for the word, you need to be really a big dog, just go crazy, you know. And he did it. And man, I have 10 times more experience in the UFC. We're similar age, but in the end, experience is always superior, you know. Also for me, I'm not the most experienced guy. Step by step, I'm going to improve. I'm going to work on my holds. But he had a great showing. Congratulations and welcome to the UFC.
And just last one, you obviously mentioned how stressful this camp was, and the fight last weekend, you know, being moved to this week. How nice is it knowing that this is all finished and one of the hardest camps of your career has come to an end?
It was a very long preparation, so much stress, opponent pulling out, changing. It's a great relief. But when I heard the news today about Morocco, of course I'm happy that I won. We had a great fight, but it's really a bittersweet taste in the mouth, you know, because you cannot really be happy 100% like from the heart, especially what's going on also in Afghanistan, in my home country. You see 40 years of war, the people are suffering. And man, I just wish like peace all over the world and no suffering. This is really my biggest wish like I have. Yeah.
Ezra, one more in front. You've obviously been in the UFC for quite a while now, but given everything like that was leading up to this fight and then what happens yesterday and then how enjoyable this fight was to watch, where does this win rank in your career?
I don't try to fly too high, you know, because I already saw so much in the UFC. I fought the top 10 and I got excited. I was young. Man, I don't like to speak big. I'm just going to show next fight, a better fight until I reach top 10, top 5, fight for the title. I'm just going to let my actions speak. Enough with words.
Obviously, there's a big fight coming up between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the fight and who you think wins.
Man, I think Islam is really like pound for pound #1. I think he's going to show his class. I trained with Islam. He's a good friend of mine. We trained in Las Vegas 2 years ago. He's a great guy. I love him. And he's a different level. He gonna destroy Charles Oliveira and hopefully get the pound for pound #1. Thank you, guys.
Kape, congratulations on the victory. We see the ice pack on your shin right now. So physically, how are you feeling after that fight?
Still numb, you know, still in the, you know, got that rush still. Feel good though. You know, I got a scratch in my eye. That's why I obviously got the sunglasses on. But yeah, man, I feel good. I'm glad I got the victory and I'm just ready to continue on.
Can you explain exactly what happened from your perspective in there at the end? Because when we were watching, it was very clearly when his arm kind of snapped and when you rolled up on top of it, that was it. Did you know that he injured his arm in the moment?
I didn't. You know, even though I kind of like heard a pop. You know, sometimes I you know, in training you hear those kind of things and you just got to continue on. But I heard a pop and I went to readjust and he kept saying my arm, and that's when, you know, I can't stop. When he's, you know, saying it, I have to stop when the ref tells me to stop.
Up until that point, how did you think the fight was playing out? Were you confident, like, if it had reached the judges that you would have been the winner?
No, the first round was definitely iffy, especially, you know, like, you know, I had to get used to the booze and everything else around me. So I just felt like the first round, I had to, like, see what he had. I heard grunting and his frustration. So I thought he was trying to, like, he thought he could take me out early or take out my leg early. He obviously had some good leg kicks. I don't know if I checked any, to be honest, but like, I just felt like I threw some of my kicks and I felt, you know, like, I got to get the job done.
Well, you mentioned the booze after the fight, though. You seemed kind of relish in it. So what was it like fighting here in hostile territory?
Man, I feed off of that stuff, man. It's kind of my thing, you know. It's, you know, I'm living the dream. You know, this is a dream I had since I was small, and you know, no booze gonna keep me from what I'm chasing and what I want to really accomplish in this career.
We couldn't quite hear your interview backstage here because we were speaking to people. It seems like you wanted to focus a little bit on your nutrition before your next fight. What exactly did you mean?
Yeah, man, just so I could see if I could play around at the bantamweight division. Make some moves. I'm finally in the UFC. I'm 30 years old. I want to see what kind of chances I could take. If I could be, a bantamweight fighter or just stick at featherweight and take a title there and see different opportunities.
Do you feel like you're naturally a bantamweight?
Not really, man. I got some dense bones, and I just feel like science, man. There's like a lot of science to it. So I feel like if science doesn't let me go to bantamweight, but they say, hey, man, we could make you solid at featherweight, then shit, let's go.
So then moving forward, what do you want the rest of your year to look like, and how do you want your career moving forward to look like?
Well, I definitely want to keep climbing the ladder. There's obviously a lot of names I got to go through so I could be in the top 10 or to challenge for the title. So I obviously got to chop some dudes down and get my way there.
Shepe, just over here.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, brother. Do you feel disrespected at all heading into this fight, considering a lot of people are very high on Jack? Did you feel like you didn't get the notoriety or what you should have got for this fight?
Man, it's whatever the crowd wants to do. Obviously they're gonna cheer on their guy. No hate, no disrespect. They're gonna do what they want. Like end of the day, I know. I'm gonna get those boos, but when I'm leaving the octagon, I got my hand raised. I get to, walk away with that, and I don't got to take those boos home.
Yeah, definitely. Last one from me is Jack was on a 9-fight win streak, and now you're on a 5-fight win streak, and he had a lot of momentum heading into this fight. Do you feel like you've kind of stolen a bit of that momentum, and are you looking to ride that momentum out now?
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm obviously getting used to everything else around. I'm finally in the UFC. I'm 2-0 in the UFC, and I just want to keep writing that out and continue on my wins and make it to the top.
And Shepe, just over here, you discussed potentially a move to bantamweight, but Gabriel Miranda got a very dominant victory tonight over Shane Young. Would that be a matchup that could potentially interest you? Another matchup with a highly touted prospect?
Yeah, man. It's I have to obviously negotiate with my corners, my management team, see what's the right moves for me. I did a 10 days notice fight at lightweight for UFC. I said yes to, a guy I'm going to enemy territory. I'm doing the things I got to do to work my way up. I'm not trying to take no easy fights, but I'm trying to make the right decisions to get me to the top.
And last one for me, you just said it, you were coming into enemy territory. Did you feel that you needed a finish tonight, given how inconsistent judging can be in MMA?
Yeah, for sure, man. I obviously... I do not like leaving it to the judges. It's not, I've learned from the past that, you could do whatever you want. You could, you deep down you're winning all three rounds, but the judges can, take it away from you like that.
Well, Jamie, congratulations on getting back into the win column. We can see a little fight was obviously hard. We can see on your face. So physically, how are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, I feel all right, man. I feel good. Just like you said, good to be back in that win column.
You were pretty excited to fight someone of John Medesi's experience level when we spoke to you at Media Day. So now that the fight's done, did it play out as you expected?
Yeah, it kind of did, man. I wanted to finish him, so I'm a little bit I'm a little bit upset I didn't get the finish, but it's what I expected. John's a tough guy, man. He's I don't think he's been finished except when he got his jaw broke by Cowboy, but even still he wasn't knocked out. So he's crafty. He's hard to hit. He's hard to hit clean. So yeah, it was a good fight for my kickboxing skills.
Were there any moments in there where you thought, well, this is the moment I can finish him, or did he just not give you those opportunities?
Yeah. When I hit him with that jump knee, I hit him with the jump knee in the face in the third round, and I was spewing. I thought I would fucking drop him, but.
And then on the flip side, was there a moment where you realized like this guy's not like he's too tough and durable? Like I might not finish this guy and now have to kind of play it smarter and reach the judge's scorecard.
Not really a moment, but it was just how the fight was playing out. It was just a good technical scrap, you know.
The final one for me, he seems pretty surprised when they raised your hand. His hands were in the air and everything. Were you confident that you would have your hand raised when it reached the scorecards?
Yeah, I was. I knew I was landing more shots and I was just busier. He had a sort of a slow start to the first round, which I teed off on him. Did a lot of damage to his leg. I was winning the second round as well, but he clipped me at the end of the second round, and I thought they'd give him the round. So going into that third, I was thinking 1-1, and I had 1 and 3.
Jamie, just over here. You mentioned during the media day that being complacent was one of the biggest lessons you learned from your last fight. I'm just wondering, getting the win tonight, was there any lessons that you learned from tonight, even through the win?
Yeah, there'll always be lessons. We'll go back and watch the tape, obviously. I felt like my concentration and focus was better this fight, and then even still, I got just clipped at the end of that second round, and it's just another thing that I got to go back and look over. I wasn't moving my feet, so that was one of the main things that we were working on in the camp, and going into that third round, my corner said, just make sure you're moving your feet so that doesn't happen again.
And Jamie, just over here, John McDessie is, he's obviously a veteran of the UFC, a veteran of the sport. What do you think a hard fight against a veteran like that can do for your development as a mixed martial artist and as a fighter?
Yeah, a lot, man. Like I said, I really feel like my skill level has gone up from tonight, and that's what I thought would happen as well. I thought if I, even if I don't get the finish tonight, this is going to improve me as a fighter massively.
And just on that, do you feel that you've hit your prime as a mixed martial artist yet, or do you feel that you've still got so much room to grow?
I feel like I'm coming into my prime. There's definitely more room to grow though, and that's what I look to do. I'm not content with this win. Like I'm happy obviously, but I'm not content with where I'm sort of at right now. I feel like I should be a little bit further in the division. So I'm just looking to get back to the gym, back to work, and keep improving and try climb this ladder.
Oh, Carlos, first of all, congratulations on the stoppage win. It wasn't a stoppage at first, but obviously they went back and reversed it. Did you know that he had tapped in there at the end of the fight?
I did feel something. I felt that he was tapping, and then I heard my coaches calling out for the tap, but I wasn't going to let it go. And the coaches were yelling out 45 seconds to go, so I just ran in those punches. So I kept it smart at that point. I knew that he'd fight to come back at that point as well. 30 seconds to go, and I just smashed.
We see the boot on your foot. What exactly happened to it?
A few bit of kicking in the exchanges in there. So I think it just swelled up. Bit of kicking off the cage. I think I kicked the cage. My toe got stuck in the cage at one point there. So
In the media day, you said you knew this was going to be a tough fight from Dong Jung.
Sure.
But just based, even though he was on the 2-fight losing streak, he is a very durable opponent. So did this fight play out like you expected?
Exactly. Yeah, I knew he'd come in with the game plan that he had. He tried to sort of play out the game and see if I'd push through and tire myself out. And I felt that that's what he was trying to do. But I felt that I was just a bit too quick on the mark there, and used my jab efficiently. And I think that's my game plan is to wait on what he'd do and what he'd throw. And yeah, I think I got what I needed was the gold dog fight. So and moving forward, this is where I need to be tested even more.
And you, of course, called out Dom Reyes after. Why specifically do you like that matchup?
I like it because he's been in there. He's been in there with John Jones. 5 rounds with John Jones. We know how that went out. So I think that'll be a step up big time. And he's at number 13 right now, and that's a spot that I want.
And this might be a strange question, but do you know who Bill Goldberg is?
Goldberg?
Yeah.
The wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Did you?
I heard. Goldberg. Yeah, wicked, eh? It was nice. I felt like I could feel it too, and I felt.
Well, we saw you at one of the beginnings of the round. You were like crouched down, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, he's gonna spear. He has to spear him now."
Wicked.
Any chance you can walk out to his song in your next fight?
Who knows? Maybe. Yeah. With me, I just go with the feels. Heidi is usually pounding me on fight week for my fight song, so she's always getting me to the very last minute for my song. So I kind of just go with how I feel very close to the fight. And last minute, I just gave her my song, which was The Conquer from Sweat It. So, yeah. Thank you.
Obviously, you're known as the Black Jag, so how about the Jag Hammer as the finishing move?
Jag Hammer. Oh, nice. I like what you did there.
And of course, Sampara. Just want to quickly get your feelings on being a part of this event with the team. Obviously, ups and downs, and the event is still going. But what's it feel like to be able to step out? 6 fights in one night is a historic thing for you guys, especially considering you came into the UFC and sort of built out a lot of the cards now for quite some time. What's the feeling like to be a part of this historic night?
Yeah, I feel like I'm building, and I'm continuing to build. And I know I'm going to get to this next fight that I want is that top 15, and then I'll go top 10, and then I want to go from there. Just continue to push. I want to get that title, and I know I'll get there. It's just a matter of finding getting those fights and getting into the right cards to get those fights, the right fights. So it's good to have the whole team here. Not only just CKB, but we've got a few of the boys like Tafa and Ty in there as well, who are close friends of myself, and I've been in camp with them, with Mark Hunt as well in previous times. So we're all close, and we're all in the same corner right now. So in the red corner right now, it's beaming. Everyone's just feeling the vibes. The energy is high. So I'm loving it back there. And after this, I'll go back and hopefully I'll get to see Ty's fight, which is coming up soon. So I want to watch that one. That one's going to be crazy. I know the whole Sydney is just going to be roaring for it. But anything is possible.
And Carlos, just over here, with the title picture at light heavyweight and the top of the division being somewhat open, does that add any extra motivation to you that, with a couple of wins, you could very quickly insert yourself into the title picture? And I'd argue it's one of the best times to be an up-and-coming light heavyweight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the light heavyweight division is scarce. I mean, you don't have one predominant person in that division. And right now I see that Dominic Reyes is in a position where top 15 where I can get that. I can grab that off him. But he's a name, and he's not somebody, I mean, you've seen him. He's the last fights that he's lost to have been guys who have been champions now. So with that, I think that's a guy for me to test myself. He's been in there 5 rounds with the GOAT. He's held the belt himself. He knows, and I think he's had a bit of time off for himself. So I think me getting in there will be a perfect time for me to grab that. And I think he's going to be the perfect person to test my abilities. And with that said as well, I think this is what the people want, and this is what everyone wants to see is myself and Dominic Reyes. He's a big opponent.
For sure. And last one from me, I was just wondering if you could speak to, the impact that City Kickboxing and, your teammates and coaches there have had on your, rapid development as a mixed martial artist in the game today.
Massive. Obviously, we've got the world champion. We've got 2 world champions who are with us. And you feed off that energy. We've got a lot of guys in the UFC, in our team. You feed off that energy. But with me, I'm growing as I'm going. So I'm fighting in all these different shows with the UFC, and I'm just learning. I want to get as good as I can. I want to be the ultimate fighter, not just be the champion, but I want to be the ultimate fighter. I want to be the best that I can be. So I want to learn as I go. And I felt that Jung was a good step for that. I know that he had a great ground game. He's a complete fighter. So for me to finish him the way that I did was a statement, especially with the tap, take him down and finish him the way I did.
Carlos, just one quick one from me. You spoke about how tough he was tonight as an opponent. Would you say he was the toughest fight of your career so far?
For sure, yeah. Jung is he's a smart fighter, and I know that what he was trying to do. I knew that he was gonna try to play out the fight and see where I'd make the mistake. I know that he's seen my fights previously, and maybe see if I could blow myself out. He's a smart fighter. His team is smart, but I'm smarter. And I've done my study. I've had people who translate for me to just to see where their head's at. And I think that's what you need to do. You learn off the greatest. So that's what I needed to do, moving in for this fight. And I did that.
Carlos, mate, congrats on another very, very handsome victory. Mate, you've had 5 wins in a row now. Do you reckon maybe your next step, you've called out Dominic Reyes, but are you ready for maybe a 5-round main event fight night type of thing?
For sure, yeah, for sure. I think this is it. We're moving forward, and I think I'm not going to hold back anymore now. So I've proved myself, and I wanted this dogfight. I wanted this 3-round with Jung. He's a hard fight, and I know it. So moving forward, this is the next step. I can go 5 rounds. I can prepare myself for 5 rounds, and we can do it. We can do it in the Vegas Apex or wherever we need to be. So I'm ready, man. I want that title, and more or less, I want to continue to grow and grow. I'll get better.
Yeah, enjoyable, mate. Well done.
I'm getting younger
and better looking. I'm telling you.
Kia ora, Carlos. You showed a lot of patience in this fight, throwing a lot of jabs and even pulled back on a few overhand rights. Was that part of the plan of you think he's going to try to gas you out and you're just going to sit back?
I could see that he was lining up his elbow. I knew that he throws a lot of his elbow, his right elbow. So I could see that he was twitching his right elbow as I was coming in for the feint of the right hand. So I knew it would be a dangerous one if I threw that. I could line him up at the right space, the right time with the jab. And the jab was working. That's all I needed to do. And I could see that I was getting agitated by the jab. So I thought if I was going to throw the right hand, it would be tricky if I did. So just keep what I'm good at, stay fast, keep my distance. I knew that he wasn't finding the right range with me. So if I just kept my long jab, a stiff jab, he would eventually fall.
And with the 4 Samoan fighters on the card, the Usos are 3 for 4, almost there.
Yeah.
You said a lot of Samoan flags in the media day. Do you see that coming true now?
I did see it. Yeah, it was a flood of red flags. So we've got one more fight, which is Ty. Is he on right now? Is he on soon?
No, next fight.
Next fight. So yeah, I can't wait to go watch him. He's going to be the last one of the Samoan boys to go in there and represent. And I see there is a massive following of the Samoan flags, as there's always been. We've had Mark Hunt in the past who's started that, and now we get to enjoy the fruits of our own labor.
And you talked about your next fight being Dominic Reyes. I want to propose an alternative where you fight Robert Whittaker for the undisputed Musashi spokesman.
Yeah, right. Musashi need to help me out. I bought my Musashi sponsor here, Jeremy, who's a New Zealand representative who's been with me for a long time, and I brought him over to see how it all goes, and hopefully we break into something bigger for Musashi.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you so much. One more question.
Just one more?
One more.
Did you feel extra pressure to perform for New Zealand after the All Blacks and Warriors both lost?
Man, I didn't even watch the game, but with me, I just focus on myself and I do my thing, and I knew I was going to do it. Yesterday, I did all the visualization. I did everything that I needed to do. I knew it was going to happen. It's just a matter of doing it. Thank you.
Yo,
Congrats.
Thank you.
You did the pleasure, man.
The pleasure man.
You finished the pleasure, man.
Finished him off real quick. Quicker than I expected. He didn't last as long as I expected.
Another quick finish, though. That's kind of just your style at this point, right?
Yeah. Well, like, the ref pulled me off quicker than I thought the pleasureman would, but, you know, I've been thinking about him all night and went in deep for this one. And he just rubbed me the wrong way, you know? Left a bad taste in my mouth.
So he made the comment at the press conference about the wife.
I'm glad you remembered, so because everyone was asking, why did you say about the wife? But
Well,
yeah.
everyone seems to think he was talking about my wife.
Oh,
and
okay.
Not yours.
Well, then I made that up in my head, and he paid for it.
But I thought he was talking about yours.
All right,
and
well,
then
we're on the same page.
Yes, there you go.
Because I thought he mentioned my wife, and I said, fuck you, you dog, I'm going to hurt you. That's why I was angry that the ref pulled me off, because, sorry. The ref pulled me off earlier than I wanted to, because I wanted to hurt him a bit more. And I don't know, maybe he just made a mistake and he was talking about your wife, but for the last 2 days, all I've been thinking about was hurting him for talking about my wife. So I feel bad for him if he was talking about your wife.
And just walk me through the celebration. That was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, so I've been working with David Neath in New Zealand, and we created this alter ego of becoming the Ronin. You know, and as I was walking out to the cage, I just felt myself, this was the calmest I've ever been, and I've replayed it over and over again in my head. And when we were doing the weight cuts, we were listening to this like samurai music, and you know that scene from The Last Samurai where the Katsumoto's coming with the crew and they're fighting those guys with the guns and they're coming through the mist and the Jews all around and on the grass, the Jew on the grass. And you hear the horses and the heavy breathing, and you can feel the fear of the men. But they're coming. So I just felt that in the way when I was weight cutting, and then I stood up after I weight cut, and I just felt that celebration. And when I did it, I saw my opponent at my feet, it was exactly how it played in my head in that moment in front of the home crowd. And I don't know what's going to be able to beat that for a while to come, because man, the crowd was behind me. I did that for my people. I did that for my family, and that was one of the best moments in my sporting career.
Tyson, just down here. Hello. You know, the pleasure man. Thanks, mate. The pleasure man. He came at you. You know, you took it on the chin. You swallowed it up, and you came back with your own heavy shot. But was there anything in there that surprised you?
No. He came a few times, I think, at me. But I was just able to, you know, really keep my distance. I was very penetrating with my steps, you know, as I was coming in. So I was able to, just keep the distance and really, really hurt him on the inside.
Is he the toughest man you've had to tangle with, do you think?
I can't do this because the American fans hate this. So if we go too deep in this, they're going to think I'm actually, no. But, it is a joke. But it was, I thought he was going to rush me a lot more than he did. I think he was a bit more wary. I saw in his eyes like he looked a bit off. I don't know if it was the travel, the big lights, you know, maybe the main event. But you're smiling. I'm trying to stay away from the innuendos. Don't worry, they're coming up. Well, let's try and keep it serious. He just didn't rush me as much. He was keeping the pressure on, but I think I kept turning him. That I was avoiding letting him run in on me. So I just did the perfect performance for me. Thank you. If one more guy starts with sexual innuendos,
So I've just got one quick one for you.
Here we go.
Don't worry. I just want to say it did seem very emotional for you during that post-fight interview with DC. I just want to know, was this extra special considering the performance in February and now to get such a dominant win?
Yeah, because, you know, like even though I've told the story that I did get sick, people still think that was me. It definitely wasn't. Whether I manifested being sick or not, that's a different question. But I didn't get to showcase what I've been working on for so long. So then to go straight back to the drawing board for like 7 months now and just every single day thinking about this moment, it's taken a bit out of me, to be honest. So everyone keeps asking what's next, but I haven't thought about anything but that moment. So even this was a bit of a weird moment. Last night I was writing in my journal. Here, I'll tell you a personal one. This will be good. Well, I think it will be. But I was writing in my journal last night, and the night before my fight, it was the final page in my journal, and the finality of that, I thought, man, if today was the last day or if something happened to me, what a way to end it with the win. And I think that acceptance of death just really made me feel free. This was the clearest I've ever felt. I was the calmest I've ever felt. And man, that's a scary thought now that I think about it. But yeah, I was willing to give everything for this one in front of the home crowd. I was like, this would be a way to go out. Fuck, that makes me a bit...
And Tyson, just one quick one over here. At the press conference, you spoke to the support that the Australian crowd, has given you. And, during the finish, we could hear the crowd, explode in here. Does that support make it easier to, push yourself and go through all the hardships that this sport brings, both physically and mentally?
Yes and no. It's such an honour to have so many people supporting me, to hear them booing him, to have my back and then supporting me when I'm coming out. But at the same time, I realised after receiving a bit of blowback from the last fight, I just realised that I'm doing it for different reasons. Although I'm so happy that I'm able to do it for the fans, I realised that I can't go off of the pressure of the fans, whether it's negative or positive, but I can use that energy for sure.
Tyson, one in the front right here.
Yes, sir.
At media day, you were pretty vocal that you stayed away from your family during this fight camp. You didn't want to get sick, and then we saw you after the ceremonial weigh-ins. You jumped out into the crowd.
I know, I couldn't help it. I know, I fucked my own plan. That was my bad.
So, what was the moment like when you actually did finally get to reunite with everyone?
Yeah, so I've just pretty much seen my wife for the first bit. I told him, I was like, I'm not going to come see baby, she got me sick. And then I saw her in the crowd and I couldn't help it, man. It's been freaking, like they came over for a week, but I was away for 9 weeks and I just haven't thought about them as much as I'd want to. This game just encompasses everything, this camp really took something out of me because I was so focused on this. I haven't had time to think about family, to think about anything else except just beating this guy up. So it was so nice to see my daughter, and man, I've been getting video messages every day. Daddy, you're number one. Daddy, you're number one. Showing all the young kids that we're here to do it and we're doing it. So what an opportunity, and I'm glad we're able to.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And did you see The Rock posted me?
Yeah.
Fuck all this. Pay for my insurance? Nah.
Well, Justin, about 20 seconds in the fight, you get poked again in the eye from Austen Lane. So what was going through your head when that moment happened?
A little bit of deja vu, but I was lucky it wasn't too deep, so yeah, all good.
Then the finishing sequence, you dropped him and then finished him off with some pretty hellacious ground and pound. So just walk us through the knockdown and then you jumping on him, because a lot of people thought, Giant Simone and they're just going to walk off knockout.
Yeah, he tried to reach and I got him with the hook. Seen that he's a bit rattled and hit him with the left hook, man. He's a tall guy, so it took a bit of power to get there. And when I seen him falling, I was going to walk off. I see Mick Maynard in the corner of my eye. I was like, not this time, bro. I'm not going to get robbed of another 50K bonus. So went in, had to put that ground and pound for the crowd to roar and hopefully get that performance of the night.
He was throwing a lot of strikes that we don't normally see from heavyweights. Like he threw that hook kick. He was throwing a lot of just real unorthodox striking that we see from the lighter weight classes. So when you were in there, were you prepared for that? And when you actually saw it in there, what was it like to see a heavyweight hook kick coming at you?
I was like, what the fuck is that, bro? At least throw it properly out. Nah, man. I didn't know what he was getting, but it was all good.
And you obviously called for the bonus. You said you've been robbed of it a few times. So this is just a general question. Do you think the UFC should kind of go to just a finish bonus system in general rather than trying to pick 2 or 3 for these performance bonuses?
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe I might just use that as a condition of my next contract because, everyone knows I come for fireworks no matter what. Like finish or no finish, I always bring the fight and I wouldn't want a KO bonus.
final one for me. What do you want the rest of your year to look like? Do you want to get one more in there? And what would you like? So yeah, what would you like the next year?
Yeah, just depends, you know. I would like another one in later this year, but I've heard some talk that the UFC is coming back to Australia early next year, so I wouldn't mind just upskilling some more and just really rounding up my game and making my case for that top 15. Easy.
Hey, Justin, you talked about upskilling.
I find your own bodyguard, bro. You owe $1,000 to tie. That's your own fault. This guy.
Junior, you be my bodyguard?
$2,000.
You threw me off, mate. We just won wins tonight from West Sydney all the way through to West Auckland. How's your Avondale pride right now? And 3 wins. Unfortunately, Ty just lost. Yes, through submission. So it's 3 for 4 for the Usos tonight. 3 finishes though. How's your Samoan pride as well?
Man, you know, although tired, maybe I dropped that fight. You know, he's flown the flag high and mighty for us over the years, and I'm always proud of him. So that's a shame, but man, I'm a Samoan through and through, no matter what. Seeing 4 fighters on the card is a big win for us. You know, there's only a small amount of us in this world, but man, we come to bang no matter what.
And going back to the upskilling, will you go back to CKB for another training camp?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I enjoyed my time there before. You know, we have a small team here, and old mate over there works 2 jobs, so he's quite busy all the time. And yeah, I'll go there definitely and upskill. You know, you can only get better and better, and I just feel like I'm finding my groove now.
Congratulations again, and good luck for the 50K.
See you, brother. I went to school with this guy. We were in the same class.
Did you pick on him?
I was never a bully. Eh?
Nah, I didn't even know you fought. Except at Highbury.
Are we done?
Just one for Justin. There's talk of UFC coming to Auckland for another card. Is that one that you'd like to see you and your brother on?
Yeah, for sure, man. That'll be another dream come true. Had many fights in Auckland, non-official, but yeah, that'll be our first official. My first official fight there. So that'll be another great thing. You know, I got a lot of family there in Auckland. I wouldn't mind putting someone away there.
And is Ty a fight you'd consider?
Nah, never, man. You know, me and my brother and Ty, Carlos, Tyson, Pedro, we all been training together since we were all on Seno money, you know what I mean? Like wins money. So, man, we're just going to be there probably forever to support each other until the end of our careers, I think.
Congratulations.
Nah, cheers, brother. Yeah.
Hello.
Well, Alex, congratulations on the victory. I don't know if you know, but I think you're one of the 3rd or 4th UFC fighters to ever pull off an Ezekiel choke in there. So what are your emotions after a win like that?
Yeah, first of all, I don't know why I don't have any bonuses tonight. So probably like all the fans in comments I saw, they're saying this, that I have to. It was like my very first submission in the UFC. It was a very good performance with striking, with a really dangerous striker, and all stadion was supporting him. So I don't know why I don't have any bonuses. So it's like question to I don't know who. Yeah, but yeah, I'm feeling great with this. So Ezekiel choke works very good. I know during I did this tonight, I remember everything Alexei Olenek teach me in the past when I was really young and travel with him. So yeah, it was awesome.
So that's not a submission you practice regularly?
Not really. I just know how to do this. Yeah, I try to do some submission with Tuivasa first, like some arm triangle, guillotine, but doesn't work. He was a little bit like a slippery, and he was like ready for the submission, and I see how Ezekiel choke, it will work with him, and I just did it.
You were in there and you were getting the better of him on the feet too. It looked like after the end of the first round he was very bloody. So I'm curious, how did the fight play out in camp as compared to how it played out in the actual fight?
Yeah, this was exactly how I planned the fight have to go on. I have in my camp a lot of a similar style guys. Yeah, but I was really surprised with Tuivasa. He's a really tough fighter. He get so much punches from me. I throw some of them really hard. I'm feeling how hard it was for him, but he keeps stayed on his legs and then fight with me, and I feel he was like really dangerous all the way, all the fight. So for me it was like a really good challenge, but it goes really good for me. I work hard and I fight easy.
The final one for me, what would you like the rest of your year to look like? Would you like to get one more fight in before the end of the year? And if so, do you have names at this point?
Of course I want to fight. I want to fight as much as possible to get back in title race. So yeah, I'm ready to fight in the end of the year, or maybe in the beginning of the next year. So I will keep going training. I'm keep going camp. I'm just enjoying my camps, enjoying practice, enjoying learning new things. So I have a lot of fights, as you know, almost 50, but I keep learning new things, and I'm really motivated, and I'm feeling like I have everything to be a champion in the future.
Alex, just want to quickly get your thoughts on Ty's walkout music, Missy Higgins. Can I say that Alex Volkov is a Missy Higgins fan after tonight?
I didn't hear this song before, so for me it was a little bit weird to hear it. It was not really fight music, something, but it was nice. It was cool. So I was in the flow of all of what's happened today in all stadium in arena. I was in flow. I feeling how everybody support him, but I enjoy the event. I understand all fans who support him on his homeland. So I was just a really good mood today, and it was really nice.
Is there a showy in your plans tonight to celebrate? Когда ты пьешь is
no. No, I didn't plan that really. I will drink some beer, but from the glass, a regular way, or maybe with us, but no from sure. Sorry.
Alex.
Yeah.
It seemed like in the build-up to this fight, you and Ty were very friendly and there wasn't much trash talking as compared to the other fights. Do you feel like they gave you an advantage coming into this fight?
Не, я понял, концовка. Я понял. It was not my advantage. It is, it's really normal. Yeah, I know for fans it's much better and much interesting if fighters hate each other, but we are both I have a lot of experience in the sport. I was a lot of battles and I meet a lot of different fighters, and I understand how it works. It's all the guys who angry each other after fights, they became friends. So it's just maybe for fans, but I understand. I'm trying to be a professional in my sport. I don't put a lot of energy on trash talking on all these things. I try to keep going straight and to be a professional and show a really good fight in octagon, not outside. But I understand that it's more interesting for fans to make some trash talk. I will know English maybe a little bit better, and I will start to try doing too.
You managed to keep the distance pretty well between Ty and yourself. You were using your reach really well, but Ty was getting you with some really good lower calf kicks. Did they start to affect you towards the middle part of the second round before you took him down?
It has some effect, you know. It's like how to say. It will be not so good like for him if he like it just this damage I have from this fight just from his calf kicks. I mean I expect this like before the fight, but my legs was really ready for this. It's just bruises. You know, I'm originally from Kyokushin karate. We have a lot of these kicks, low kicks and calf kicks like in our sport. So I really used to this. It was not a really big deal for me. So and you know, especially in the real like last his calf kick, I tried to give him the leg because I feeling when he kicks this he hurt his leg himself. So feeling this and I just keep going forward and give him this leg. He tried to make this calf kick. I just catch him on this movement and throw him down. So I just expect this. It was not so bad. But it just bruises, and you also have it in the fight. Like it's okay.
And finally, for me, does someone like Tom Aspinall interest you for your next fight?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, well, I already followed him, but in London maybe we can follow him in another place, and he come to maybe US because he too much fought in his homeland and not so much in different countries. So maybe. We'll do this in another place.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Alex, just over here.
Just
over here.
Yeah.
It felt tonight that out of all the non-Australian or New Zealand fighters, you got not as bad as reception as some of the other ones. What were your thoughts fighting in front of the Aussie crowd?
Как тебе чувствовалось, когда ты дрался в Австралии? И к тебе как относились? К другим больше относились, к тебе меньше относились? Как?
You know, I feel really good here in Australia. Like all fans was really welcome to me. Like outside the outside of arena. So I met a lot of people during all of these 5 weeks on streets, like everywhere, and they make picture with me. So fans here really amazing. I know, and people from a different society, like level, from different job and different age, they all know about MMA. Like it was it really like surprised me here, and all of them want to make some picture, and it was really nice for me. So I feel great. I understand that this is his homeland, and everybody will support him. So it's okay. But I understand that like for fans, one of us. It could be good. One else have to be bad. Today I was like a bad fighter, but after fight everybody love me. So it's okay. It's just part of the sport, and I'm feeling good today. It was absolutely like a good feeling.
Now, Alex, just one from me over here. Was Ty better on the ground than you thought he was going to be? As early on in the jiu-jitsu exchanges, he seemed to have some improved defense on the ground. Was his defensive jiu-jitsu a little bit better than you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that he like was a little bit expected some jiu-jitsu movement and wrestling movements in this fight. So he trained and working on this a lot. So I saw this. It was so I expected that my ground game with him will be a little bit easy for me. But he was really good prepared to this fight in jiu-jitsu game. I tried to do some like. Chokes in the first round and early, like middle of second, but I can do this. He was a little bit weak, really strong enough to defend. Yeah, and it was good. So it was good because it make some show for fans and make a fight a little bit longer. So yeah, I like it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Manel, congratulations on the win, the bonus, and a great fight.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling about your performance and your opponent?
I feel good. I think I did a good performance. I did what I have to do. About my opponent, I knew he was a tough kid, like I said before. He's a tough kid. He's a debut. He don't have nothing to lose. He come. He surprised me with his range. Have a long arms. So I have to make a couple exchanges during the fight, but all good. We win, and this all a matter.
Was he tougher than you thought, or was it about what you expected?
No, I always expect the fighters to be tough because this is what we do. They train to be tough, to be good, like he was good. So nothing surprised to me, you know. The kid was really tough. I dropped him many times. He didn't break. So congratulations to him too.
After the fight, you made it clear that you would like to fight Kai Kara-France. You also used a word about his teammates that perhaps was a little bit regretful.
Pardon?
Do you used a homophobic slur in your post-fight interview? Dana White said you were sorry for this. I wanted to confirm that you are apologetic.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. He's emotional, you know. During the fight, during the interview, we are all emotions. We say things that we don't want to say, but for who feel bad about that, I apologize.
Why is the fight with Kai Kara-France something you want so bad, and what is it about him that you seem to dislike so much?
In that moment was the fight what I want. I really training hard for fight Kai Kara-France, and that's the fight that put me in a good spot in the division, and that a win in this night was supposed to be to fight next for the title. And like I say, I just believe they are a little bit hypocrisy because they team say that they have to go into injuries, you know, they have to fight. There was talk about Drico, about Israel Adesanya. He didn't fight because of injuries. And what happened to Kai Kara? We didn't know really what happened, you know. So this is my question to him, you know.
How do you think that fight goes?
It's going very well, you know. We see he was not 100% sure to fight me because I have an injury, a lot of injury in this fight camp. Even 1 week ago in my cut weight, I have a big injury. I didn't pull out of the fight. Just for you guys know, I have a big injury. I didn't pull up. I just stopped 3 days to relax, and I keep going.
Is the injury something you'll have to have surgery on, or is it just recovery?
I have to check because I have to do a race sheath. If something broke, I'm not gonna say what is the part, but I'm just gonna tell you I have a big injury. And like you guys see, normally I move a lot in fights. I didn't move a lot. I was more concerned about my injury and not to get exposed. So, but I go into injury. This is the mentality of the champion, you know. I'm not going to waste the time of anyone, and I'm not going to waste my time.
Staying with Kai, he fought for the interim title not too long ago, and he headlined his last card. Do you think, given the heat between you and Kai, that you could make this a main event of a fight night, and you two would fight for 5 rounds instead of 3?
Definitely not a fight night. Definitely a pay-per-view.
Sure. And then the last one for me on this fight specifically, is this the type of fight that you enjoy? Like Felipe seemed, I know you were injured, but he was in there. He was throwing a lot of exciting, dynamic strikes. He was throwing spinning back elbows. He was going for submissions and everything. Is this the type of fight that you enjoy in there?
I been have a easy fight in UFC, you know. All my fight was like easily. I didn't feel like I'm going. So I really enjoy.
Actually, one more for me. You and Israel obviously had that exchange on stage. I'm curious, did you watch his fight against Sean Strickland, and what did you think of it?
You know, karma is a bitch. You know, because he told last time in last press conference to Strickland, if he pay attention on Alex Pereira, you know. I told him, hey, pay attention on your guy, you know. Your business is against Strickland. And he was so focused on me than focused on Strickland. Look what happened. Like I say, karma is a bitch. Congratulations to Strickland. We go home with 2 victories. Thank you, guys.
We want to. This is our team. This is how we do it. He wants to go. He wants to be protected, and it's our job to protect him. So, if this is what he wants, this is what he gets. This is his time right now. He's in a time of need right now. So, if I have to sit up here in front of you guys, then I have to sit up here in front of you guys for him. If you have any questions.
Yeah. Huge. I think most people would agree that was not the Israel Adesanya we're used to seeing in there tonight. He looked slow, he looked off, kind of fatigued early. Can you tell us anything about his performance and maybe why that was the reason? What was the reason?
Look, the universe does things, and I feel I think Sean's a great fighter, and I never once thought that Sean wasn't capable of beating Israel. But I thought if Israel performed to the fullest of his capabilities, it would be a very hard fight for Sean. There was an alternate kind of universe where if Israel performs his poorest or poorly, where Sean could win. And I'm sitting in that universe right now. So he had an off night. Training camp was great. I'm not going to make any excuses in regard to that. Leading up to the fight week was great. Sparring partners, everything, all the technical little things to do with the camp, they were all perfect. So there's no excuses there. He came in, he had an off night. He couldn't see the same things that we were seeing. We couldn't make a good connection in the corner. It was just a frustrating night, yeah. But why was it a frustrating night? Well, it was a frustrating night because of the opponent. Don't take nothing away from the opponent.
Dana has already been in here and said, we'd like to see a rematch. Do you drastically change things ahead of that? Or do you think, well, we think we got it right, Israel just had an off night and hope that that doesn't happen again?
In my career, I've been involved in a few rematch camps, and they're very, very difficult. Why are they so difficult? Why is a rematch camp so difficult? Is you're trying to find other stones to leave unturned, but you already haven't left the stone unturned. So it's almost an impossible task. You're trying to find another level above the level that you've already achieved, but it's not achievable. So it's very, very difficult when you go into these rematch camps. And at this level, I've done a few. The Pereira one just recently. It's very, very difficult to do a rematch camp, but like I said, I don't think we have to change too much, but we will find something because we have the benefit of time. So we will get down to our usual business as a coaching team, and we'll find something to add to this camp, and we'll win the rematch.
Would you like that rematch as soon as possible, or do you think maybe some time off could be beneficial for Israel?
Well, I asked Mick if we could have the rematch next weekend. Whether he grants it, I'm not sure, but I'm just very confident that we can change the outcome of this fight with very minor adjustments. What I'm saying is we couldn't get Israel to enact our plan. There wasn't much cohesion in the corner. You have nights like this, and I think we can do the rematch tomorrow, and I think we can have a good night.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, I'm just curious. In that first round, when Sean landed that blow that did drop Israel, was there any moment that like that was the moment maybe Israel didn't recover, or it just caught him off guard, or did that just set the tone for the rest of the fight?
Look, what Sean did, and again, give massive credit to Sean, okay, but that right hand, I wouldn't say like it was our job to pull him out of Israel's hesitancy. What Sean did was he made Israel very hesitant, and again, that's all credit to him. How did he make Israel hesitant? He bit down and threw every time Israel threw. He countered no matter what. So was there going to be a counter when Israel came in 50% of the time, 65% of the time, 100% of the time? Sean was going to bite down and counter. And when you're faced with that proposition, there's very, very difficult. There's a mental block that's put up. And you have to find a way to get around that mental block. And Israel struggled with that all night. And we struggled with it as well.
Were you surprised at all that Sean didn't try to maybe grapple more in there? And maybe that throw Israel off his game?
Not necessarily. We were prepared for both. We were prepared for Sean to stand. He's shown that in the past, that he doesn't necessarily have to wrestle to win a fight. And we were especially prepared for Sean, if his awkward style was giving Israel difficulty, we were prepared for Sean to stick to that, stay the course, which he did, and we tried to find the adjustments, and we just couldn't tonight.
Final one from you, just about yourself. A lot was made. You had 6 fighters on this card, so I guess at the end of this whole fight, like obviously Shane and Blood and Israel the night didn't go their way, but you had other fighters that were successful too. So just after this fight, how was the whole night for you with all of your fighters so active?
I just got together with my team, and I told them all, I said, look, at the end of the day, we had 6 guys fighting. We had 3 guys lose, but we had 3 guys win. And that's something to be celebrated. And this achievement, getting ourselves to this level, to this point, and those 3 guys winning, that's why Israel's taken off. He's gone to get to the after party, and he's gone to celebrate those 3 guys' wins and our achievement. So that's how we feel.
Just a little bit on those 3 guys. Just want to shine some light on the 3 guys that did win. Give us your thoughts on some of the big moments from tonight and the big victories, and some of your favourite moments from that.
Look, Carlos, his right leg was incapacitated during the week. He could not walk on it. I don't know if any of you noticed him limping, but he did not once think to himself that he's going to pull out of that fight. He went out there, it was hard. He was very hard on his right leg, but he went out there and won, and he showed heart. Tyson showed what he's been working on for all this time at City Kickboxing. Crisp, accurate striking, straight down the middle, good positioning. And Kevin just showed that he belongs at this level. So that's what me and Izzy are celebrating tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you.